Good day to you. Where do I begin? Well, I grew up on the East Coast of the United States, Virginia, Maryland, and then Delaware, eating what my family ate. Why wouldn't I? It tastes good. Joined the military. Got married. Joined a Bible study. And got exposed to some experiences of people who have left home and at least had the knowledge and information a little bit more than maybe you would if you just stay at home and never leave your home state or home city or whatever, wherever you live at, whatever you want to call it. And it was all about cancer, specifically cancer. So of course, being the young man, I'm like, what the hell is the reason for all of these different people, this melting pot of people that we have in the military? Everybody's getting cancer. Even the military, these are supposed to be well-trained, government property. You would think they want to take care of the property, right? Because that's what you sign up. Once you sign once you swear in, you signing up to protect and defend the Constitution. But basically, you are committed to signing your life away to protect those, even if they don't like you. No matter what, that's what you do. But you would think, since you're investing so much money in something, you may want to protect it, or at least make sure it's going to live healthy and serve its purpose and long for you, But I don't think that was the case. So, what I found was, ran into Mr. Alfredo Bowman. Listened to him a couple times, a couple different videos, and of course, there's always skepticism, so you got to do your homework. And I did, even with current day doctors and physicians, and everything he was saying got backed up by even the current day physicians. And in the Bible, if that's what you believe in. So, I started a little bit on there, at least started removing one by one, substituting things, because you can't do cold turkey. I mean, you can try. Some people can, if it's an urgent matter, but otherwise, I would not recommend it, because you will crave the foods and you may binge. So, I don't recommend cold turkey ever. Just start small, do what you can. Even if you fall off, keep going. But I started there. Cut out alcohol. Cut out pork. All right, stick with that. Maybe try to eat salads Monday through Friday for lunch, instead of going to get fast food, and then I can still eat whatever on the weekends. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, just fruits or vegetables and maybe some grains during the week. But for the weekends, I can, whatever transition food I need to help me if I still desire meat. But what I found is, once you've been not eating the meats for a while, your body is going to react differently to it. Like your bowel movements, all of that stuff. It's not going to feel the same way. You'll notice the difference in, like, your bowel movements ain't supposed to be difficult. Just like when you watch a dog go poop, if they struggling, it look like it's a problem. That's how you look on the toilet. You just don't see it because it's you doing it. But yeah, it's smooth. It's supposed to be smooth. It ain't supposed to have no rotten smell where you lighten up the whole house. Got to put air fresheners and candles and open the windows and stuff. That ain't supposed to happen. If it smell like that when it's coming out, imagine what it smell like on the inside. What's happening on the inside of your body? Think about that. Like, really think about that. And think about what it was that went in that's causing that. It's chemicals. If you look at the ingredients, just get in the habit of looking at the ingredients. It's nothing but chemicals. Some of the stuff you might recognize, but for the most part, you ain't never seen this in none of your Discovery Channel watching days. You ain't never seen it on no farm. You never seen it in nature. You got these things made in the laboratory to make your food last longer or make it taste a certain way or to get you addicted to it so that you continuously want it. But it's killing you. And it's getting everybody to this point of cancer. Whether you're exposed to the information or not, you're still going to get it because it's that much stuff that is being adulterated. Yeah. So I started with removing the alcohol. I do miss beer, watching the game, you know, but it's okay. Lose a whole bunch of weight there. That was on accident. My goal was not to lose weight. It was just to try and avoid the path that so many have been on and been misled to. So, and maybe protect my family, you know, save my family, help my family. And you can't force everybody, but at least you can be the example that you want to see. So, yeah, started there, and then the next. So that was in November November of 2016, when I cut out the alcohol and the pork, and then from there, my household, we just kind of stopped buying meat for the house. Really, like we didn't buy any animal meat, like chunks of meat for the house. Sold both of my smokers because I had two at a certain point, 2 smokers and 2 grills, and you know how that goes. As you got them, you're gonna want to use them. So I'm smoking briskets, ribs, everything. Loved it, but I don't think it loved me. But got rid of that stuff. That was in November 2016, started, and then in March of 2017, I had to go to some professional military education for a while, like 5 to 6 weeks. So there I kind of experimented on myself to see if I could really go without meat, you know, because this is a fear. You think you're going to die if you don't have some meat in a day. You panic. Somebody hands you a plate 3 times a day with no meat. You about to slap somebody. So I tested it. I experimented. I had fruit for breakfast every morning. A lot of water. 100% fruit juice in between the fruit for breakfast and lunch and dinner. And then had walnuts, just to if you need something to snack on. And then lunch was salad. You can add some peppers or whatever other vegetable you want to add to the salad. But I had a salad. No dairy dressing. It was always French dressing, or if you can, something that's non-dairy, because that is, for me, I found to always cause headaches. No matter how small the amount, once you include dairy, there's going to be the headaches, sharp pains, maybe even migraines for some people. But dairy is a trigger for my head to start hurting. And then for lunch or dinner, I would experiment with Subway, just because I can see what they're making or what they're putting on my food, and it's vegetables. I know they ain't organic or the best quality vegetables. I don't care about all that, because you got to start somewhere, right? So I just have them do turkey breasts, and I would load up the vegetables so I can see which ones I like. Because, honestly, a lot of people ain't eating a whole bunch of vegetables just because. So I put a bunch of vegetables on there. Still got meat and cheese for like the first week. And then week 2, I took off the cheese. And then week 3, I took off the turkey. But I put the cheese back on, because I felt like I would die if I don't put that something on there. And then week 3, I took off the turkey and the cheese. I had guacamole. Like all of the weeks, I've had guacamole instead of any like mayo or ranch or anything like that. I had guacamole. I think a little bit of Chipotle Southwest. So, but I would just like tell them just one little squirt, not a lot, man, not a lot, and you can see it. That's the awesome part. You can see it. And yep, I had some little withdrawal symptoms where you crave certain foods, but I started sleeping better. And while I was at this professional military education, I could sit back in a class and just watch people discuss issues and go back and forth about a problem, and the answer is like very clear to me, but they would just go back and forth about the same thing. And I was like, I know I ain't super smart, because I went to public school like everybody else, so I know I ain't that smart. And by the way, I'm out here in the park with my kids over there playing, but I'm just chilling in a tree, how we do it back home. But for some reason, my things became a lot clearer as far as my brain was working and stuff. Maybe because I wasn't eating meat, maybe because I wasn't taking in the alcohol. I don't know. Whatever it was helping. And I just could get to that resolution or that end point where you see the problem and you can fix it, or you can resolve it, or see the common denominator of stuff. And of course, I know that they're not, everybody's not doing the same thing. So I just sat back and watched it. It was interesting to see while my brain was functioning the way it was, because I know that what I'm doing, nobody else does, but I'm just like, I just got to keep it to myself. It was interesting though. So, and then I think about week 4, I decided to try. So all of these weeks, the first, second, and third week, I always had two chocolate chip cookies after that, and sweet tea, because I needed something, you know. And again, it's one thing at a time. I ain't saying get rid of all of it, but do what you can within your limitations so that you don't overdo it. Because if you do try to do cold turkey, you most likely will fall off and then just be like, all right, whatever, might as well not, just get back on the horse. So on, I think, the 4th or 5th week, I did. The 4th week, I stopped getting meat and cheese, and all I had was the vegetable sandwich, basically. And week 5, I decided to go just vegetables, no cookies, no sweet tea. Oh, that sugar detox for that week, just 5 days, that was a nightmare. And oh, by the way, every weekend I would still meet up with my family, and we would eat out normal stuff. But what I would do is probably get like a salad or a sandwich, and it might have meat in it, but it wasn't a lot. I tried to make sure it was more on the vegetable side, just because I was able to sleep better while I was there. And then on the weekends when I would go home, my wife told me I wasn't snoring like before, and I'm like, man, that's awesome. But there's a lot of benefits to it. You just have a lot more clarity when you're thinking, and it's awesome. But that last week, I tried it. No meat, no cheese, no, not even Chipotle Southwest. To go on that Subway sandwich. And I did increase it from a 6-inch to a foot long, though, because I was concerned that I might, fall off. So I just made it a foot long. And sure enough, I did it. And there was a lot of temptation around. Like my class that I was in, all my classmates ordered some breakfast tacos. And they was like, yeah, let's get some on Friday. I'm like, really? This is the week I'm trying to go. No meat, no cheese, no dairy, no sweet tea, just vegetables, grains, and water. But yeah, it went pretty good. I think it was more so the initial just reduction of meat that had me go into a little phase. That guy. It was cool though. I like it. Ever since then, I don't think I can go back to the way I used to eat meat and just the way I used to eat in general, because there's a completely different feeling with your body. And I actually did try to, splurge one time. Situations happen. Certain snacks, sweet tooth. I got a sweet tooth, and that's my flaw right there. You put a cake or something in front of me, and you got a problem. But even with that, I experimented. Yes,
I need to use the bathroom.
it's right there. Go ahead. Hurry up before you pee on yourself. But yeah, after that experience. Oh, I was talking about the cake. Sorry. Like sweet tooth, I had a incident where I splurged on cakes. My wife bought them just to kind of like reward me. Like, look, you're doing good. You don't have to fucking it reminded me you don't have to completely just fall off. Or, what? Oh, go to the other one. Go to the other one. Like you don't have to, kill yourself with this. Sometimes, you get hard on yourself and try to be strict, but she knew, it would end up in the same result of somebody going cold turkey. But me and my sweet tooth, I still went ahead and ate the rest of the box. because my reason was I'm trying to make sure the rest of the house don't take in these chemicals. You know, trying to protect the family. But also, I have a sweet tooth also, so you know, that was just my reason. But I was in so much pain that night, and it's one of them bowel movements where you sit on the toilet, but your side is still hurting. You like, I don't know what's happening. It ain't gas, it ain't poop. It's just a chemical reaction inside your body. And all of that stuff is like, what in the heck did you just put in here? I can't handle none of this. And yeah, since then, I just gotta. Yeah, I could not go back to eating that way. So, got done with that professional military education, and I think I was looking up some stuff because what I found was it wasn't just about cancer. It's any of these other diseases, or so-called diseases, different diseases. Dr. Sebi's thing, or Alfredo Bowman, his thing was the only disease is mucus. No matter what part of your body it is, it's a accumulation of mucus in that area, or it's just so much that's built up, is you need to clean it out. But the reason there's so much in there is because the stuff you've been putting in your body that was never made by God. Never made by God. It wasn't intended for you to eat. It wasn't made by God or nature, whatever you believe in. It wasn't made for you. So I was researching, and I saw this video that mentioned this dude. It mentioned Dr. Sebi and this other guy who believed in this one disease theory or belief that it was just mucus. So I'm like, let me look up who this guy is. And the guy's name is Professor Arnold Ehret. And he wrote a book in 1922. Again, in 1922, he wrote a book. Um, 1922, called the Mucusless Diet Healing System. Now, let me go back. One of the things that Dr. Sebi mentioned, or Alfredo Bowman mentioned, in one of his videos is that he cured blindness. Yes, I said blindness. He cured blindness, like he reversed it. And, you know, to me, I'm like, dang, if you can cure blindness, you know, you got a lot of money coming. Because, you know, and if you can cure all of these other diseases too, because it's only one, really, you got a lot of money coming if you can individually do that, because the medical industry is just pushing pharmaceuticals on you to keep you sick, so you have to continuously pay, and that's money for them. Whereas if you can cure somebody or something, they pay one time and you don't have to see them again unless they put themselves in that situation again, and then they just keep paying you, but it's their choice, because they're harming themselves, not you harming them. You're curing them, and then they just go back and harm themselves. So look up Arnold Ehret's book. I read the PDF, and literally, well, by the way, my job in the military involves a lot of reading every day. So the last thing I want to do when I get off work is read. I can't stand reading, at least before reading this book. I couldn't stand reading. But after reading that book, that put me on another path. I'm like, wait a minute, let me keep going. So, long story short, every page in that book destroyed the entire medical system. Everything you've been taught, everything you believe, everything you see on TV about medical stuff, it is a lie. It is a big old lie. And he's not, and these two gentlemen and all these other doctors are not the only people that believe this stuff. There's a bunch of different doctors. The thing is it's not going to be all over the TV. It's not going to be all over the radio, because what do you see over the TV and the radio? Pharmaceuticals, because they make a lot of money off of you. Just think about that. They're not going to advertise the cure. You don't make no money off of people who are cured or people who are dead. So they don't want to kill you, but they don't want to cure you. They just want to keep you sick. And if you don't believe that, if you got go and watch there's a movie called Prescription Thugs. Watch that and listen to them. Don't take it from me. Don't take anything I say to be truthful. Go and look it up yourself. Actually, do that research. Do that research. I don't want you to believe anything I say as the 100% truth. I want you to do the research yourself. But that started me on the path, because literally every page I read, I was like, WTF, like in my head. I'm like, what? And I was taking screenshots after screenshots of each page. And then I finally looked at my phone, my camera roll, and I'm like, every picture I have in here is a screenshot of this book. And it's only like 200 some pages total. But like every page I was taking pictures. I was like, wait, it makes sense though. Now, do I believe everything that everybody says? Absolutely not. But that's also why I'm telling you, do the research yourself. Don't believe everything I say. Go and check it out though. Don't just only believe one side. Look, do the research yourself. Just because you don't hear about it on TV or see about it in the news every day, that you got to understand, you have an illusion of choice. You got a bunch of different channels and a bunch of different media outlets, but realistically, there's only 6 media companies that control all the media you see, whether it be news, television programming, cable, sports networks, whatever. That's why you can go to any channel or watch any social media or anything and see pharmaceutical ads. They're making billions of dollars, trillions, off of you being sick. They need you sick. So go do your homework. Check it out. And after that, once you have the knowledge and the information, and you got to make a decision whether you want to live or die. Like, do you want to eat to live or eat to die? Because you can, I mean, at the end of the day, it's your choice, but you got to make that choice. And then, yeah, I know you can get hit by a bus tomorrow and die, and fall out of something can fall out of the sky and kill you tomorrow. So you might as well, what they call it, YOLO. You only live once. All right, that's cool. But what you gonna say when you're in that hospital bed, or you in the doctor's office, and they're like, "I'm sorry, but you got this many months to live, or you got this condition, and we need to do surgery." Well, as Alfredo Bowman says, if the human body was made to be open, it would have a zip on it. Only real time you need to be opened up like that is there's a traumatic thing, and you're gonna die anyway if you don't get opened up. Other than that, for like a heart attack, that doesn't exist. It's you attacking your heart because you're putting a bunch of stuff in there in your body, and your heart is just trying to defend itself. And you'll find out some information about that too if you do your own research, that the myths about the heart and all that stuff. But it's very interesting. I promise you will enjoy the revelation and the information that you get. And I can tell you all this stuff, but if you don't try it for yourself, you will never know. And I think I'll end it at that for now. I'm gonna go get some sun. Y'all take it easy.